Get even better. This Friday night, you can watch a film created by a guy with really deep Buffalo roots. The film is called Kelly's Hollywood, and it's about his sister Kelly, who was born with Down syndrome. Brian lives and works in Hollywood, but he's home this week to premiere the film at the Dipson Amherst Theater on Main Street. Along with Brian, we have Doug Farley, who is with the Museum of Disabilities, and we are excited because you're here. Doug, you're here because there's so much going on at the museum.
Yep.
Not only do you have 2 screenings, but you'll have a reception for Brian. So hopefully we can raise more money for the Museum of Disabilities.
Yeah, it's a great fundraiser too, not only for the Museum of Disability History, but also for our fundraising partners, Catalytion Center and Born Hava.
Yeah, great places in Western New York, and all they do, their mission is to just help people.
Yeah.
Well, welcome home, sir.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
You are welcome, and I know you've been working on this for a while, this film.
Yeah, it's been a journey. I'm not going to lie. It was, you know, I think as these things go, not only making a documentary, but certainly the technical aspect of it too, which I didn't know. Really, I mean, although I've been in the business, I've been in the front of the camera, and I've been lucky enough to do that and make a living as an actor. But when I decided that, you know, for financial reasons, that I better probably chisel away at this myself and edit. So I actually went to Apple. They have that one-on-one, and I learned how to cut on Final Cut Pro. And so I spent about a year learning just the, you know, what I needed to do technically to splice and dice and try to figure out the story and, you know, and kind of mold the clay, if you will, and see what that looks like. And so, yeah, it's been, you know, I think start to finish, it's been about 7 years.
Yeah.
But you know, it's a common story. You know, I think when you talk to most documentarians, you know, unless they have big budgets and it's a very specific thing or something of a crisis, you know, if they're doing an oil spill somewhere. And but you know, I think especially the personal ones, they take a while, and you usually hear the 5 to 7 year journey, and that's what it was. You know, in fact, I didn't really technically finish the film until 6 p.m. on Friday before I left. You know, just a few days ago. You know, I had the print. You know. So yeah, and then you hear that story a lot too. You know? Yeah, we finished it last night. We ran to the airport, you know, and so yeah, it was an interesting journey too. You know, my sister passed away in 2009, and I started to tell you before the segment started that, you know, I had to change courses. You know, I never meant for this film to be a postmortem piece, and so it was a blow, not only emotionally, as you can imagine, but you know, as a filmmaker, I was, you know, what do I do now? You know, what film do I make? And so I actually shelved the film for about 2.5 years, and then regrouped and tried to find my feet again, and then started looking at the footage. But you know, the beautiful part of that, and I have to say, you know, I was able to spend a lot of time with my sister, you know, even after she passed away, you know, with all the footage I had and the stills, and so that was a real gift, and it helped me, you know, even though I was in a dark room, in an edit bay, if you will. You know, we had a lot of time together, and that was a really nice gift. And I had, you know, all this footage. I mean, how many people can say that about someone they love?
True.
You know, I mean,
That's true.
So.
And we should tell people what this film is about.
Yeah, let's. That would help. The film, you know, I think, simply said, it's a love story between my sister and I. But it's also a journey and a triumphant journey of someone. You know, my sister had Down syndrome, and when she was born, you know, the doctors told my mom to institutionalize. You know, she's not really going to have a full, fulfilling life. And my mom was horrified, you know, through tears. Days later, held my sister and said, "No way, you know, I'm taking her home." And you know, God love my mom. She set the precedent very early on, and she's an amazing woman, and she, I think, helped guide everyone to, you know, who Kelly was going to be in the world, and it was going to be more than what they said she was going to be. And so, you know, and I think that was my personal interest too, not only as a brother and loving her, but I was enamored by her. I mean, my sister, in her heart of hearts, was a diva. I mean, a true blue diva, and she was an entertainer, you know, and she knew that, you know, she knew that, and even though she was relegated to, you know, going to special ed and then further to, you know, adult workshops and such to do work, in her heart of hearts, she was a diva, and she had a big brother who lived in Hollywood.
Yeah, I was going to say she must have loved, you know, your experience.
Yeah, and so I brought her out every year for 2 months, and to experience and taste Hollywood, and also also give her opportunities to kind of perform, at least in the living room with friends, and be around it and go to sets with me and stuff. And so that was fulfilling for many years. But she had a dream to perform on stage, live audience in Hollywood, you know, and that was something she always, you know, asked about. And so when her health started to deteriorate a little bit, I was like, what am I doing? You know, life is short, and this is nuts, and what's it going to take? You know, so I got a theater. Someone donated a limousine and red carpet, and I had the audience come.
What a beautiful
you know,
story.
before, and they were, you know, acted as paparazzi and screaming fans, and Kelly signed, you know, autographs, and she climbed the red carpet and the stairs, and at the top of the stairs, she ripped open her leather jacket. I mean, it was amazing. I mean, it was really, truly amazing. So, so those are the pearls, you know, throughout. And it's not a fluff piece, you know. It's, you know, there's challenges, you know, for my mom, of course, and my own relationships were affected. You know, romantic relationships were, you know, they were always second. Kelly was first. So that was an issue, and you know, so it was that kind of stuff.
Let me stop everybody because I want to tell you when this is going to be screened. It's going to be screened twice on Friday, okay? And between the screenings, there is a reception at the museum, and you have a lot of wonderful
A lot of great
auction
food.
items.
Yeah, we'll
You're
have some
gonna
more
get
time to
meet
spend with Brian and his family.
It's going to be great. Now, tickets are available online in advance. $10, only $15 on Friday. You can get them at the museum or at the theater, or you can call 629-3626, disabilityfilmfest.org. Go and see this. Kelly's Hollywood. Brian Donovan, St. Joe's grad, right?
St. Joe's grad,
Yeah, congratulations.
1985.
Congratulations on your wonderful
you.
success.
Thank you very
Thanks for
much.
coming home.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks, Linda.
Thank you.